Good afternoon. My name is Corey Anderson. I'm the athletic director here at Bushnell University. At this time, I would like to bring Dr. Joe Womack, president of Bushnell University, forward for a welcome this afternoon.
All right, good afternoon. Today we're going to honor a number of athletes who are going to be honored because of their exceptional performance. And I don't know what it means when we start with a good afternoon and I get a subpar response. Now you guys know better, so I'll deal with you later. Well, we're going to start this again. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, well, sometimes that's all you get. So excited to come together and be with y'all. Happy that current student athletes are here, because this is one of my favorite things to do, Corey, is when they get a chance to see and hear from those that have come before them and had wonderful success, not only on the court, on the field, and on the pitch, but in life after that, which is really important. You all will find out. The rest of us already know. Super excited to be here for a couple of reasons. I don't know, guys on the 97, 98, 98, 99 team, if you'll remember this, but when you went to San Jose, I'm not sure I'm remembering this exactly, but Coach Lip asked me to do the devotion. I was the dean of students at San Jose Christian College, and I did a kind of a subversive devotion on humility and kindness and thinking of your neighbors above yourself, in hopes that I'd get you thinking the right way to get beat that night. And we had you by 1 point. Paul Wright swears this was him, but I don't remember if it really was him. Mitch, it might have been you. Where's Mitch Naylor? You did this at the national championship, I think. It was whatever that inbound play. And I told the coach, this is what Dave's going to do, because he's done that for 35 years. It's the same thing every single time, but somebody hit the buzzer beater on us that day I gave the devotion, so you guys kind of blew my mojo that time. But it was a lot of fun to watch you all play, and it's exciting that we've got a couple of inaugural athletes with us, Greg and Tiffiny, that got things going in a way that we benefit a great deal from today. And so just thrilled you're here. Hope we have a wonderful time. And I'll just shut up, I guess. That's all I want to say. Oh, no, Keith reminded me. He's sitting there reminding me. You'll hear from Keith next. So, Keith, come on up, right? No, you're next.
I'll bring him up.
Sorry. I'm messing. Keith, sit down. You're not up yet. You come also to campus in an exciting time. I hope you're proud of your alma mater, as we are proud of you. A number of building projects going on, number of exciting things. So I hope you engage the campus community more and more each year. So thank you for coming. God bless.
Thank you, President Womack. On behalf of Bushnell University and the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics, I would like to welcome you to the Morse Center Day for today's 13th induction of the Bushnell University Athletic Hall of Fame. Our Athletic Hall of Fame was established in 2007 to recognize individuals and teams that have bestowed great honor and pride to Bushnell University, or for some of you in the room, Northwest Christian College and Northwest Christian University. Since that time, we have inducted 21 individuals and 8 teams. Today, as we induct 2 more individuals, along with 2 additional teams, to receive Bushnell Athletics' highest honor, the Hall of Fame continues to allow us to introduce our past successes to our current and future student athletes, coaches, and alumni. At this time, I would like to introduce the Vice President for Advancement, Dr. Keith Potter, to the stage for invocation, along with a few welcoming words for today's events.
It really is a thrill to have you here today. If you're an alum, we're eager to know you. Those in the advancement office want to build relationships and make sure that you know your university remembers you. We have enormous, exciting programs happening around the campus and around the community, and any way you'd like to be a part of it, we want to include you. But for today and for this celebration, would you allow me to lead a prayer? Heavenly Father, first of all, we thank you for these athletes who are being honored today, people who have performed at a high level, people who now are shining as beacons in their communities, people who have decided that hard work will pay off, and that honoring you and honoring those around them yields extraordinary outcomes. We pray your blessing on these inductees and pray, dear God, that their lives would continue to move in a wonderful direction. We pause to pray for the students who are here and thank you for their part on our campus and for all the promise of what they are and what they're becoming. We ask you to bless them as they work hard and find direction and even your calling for their lives. We pray for family members who stand by in support, who have come today because they believe in us and believe in what the university has done to shape those they've cared for. And then finally, Lord, we pray for Bushnell University and thank you that wisdom, faith, and service is what we're about, and that all of our lives, all of our characters can be shaped by our mission. Thank you, Lord Jesus, we pray in your name. Amen.
I would like to take this time to recognize some special guests in attendance for today's induction. First, our current Bushnell Athletic Hall of Fame members. I'm going to read your name, and you can either wave or stand, up to you. Coach Dave Lipp, inducted 2013. He was the head coach of the 1983, 84, and 85, along with an individual induction. So Coach Dave Lipp. Mitch Naylor, inducted 2010. And then Bushnell President Emeritus Dr. Jim Womack, inducted also 2010. Also in attendance today, Michael Fuller, Vice President for Enrollment and Special Assistant to the President for Strategic Planning. Dr. Reed Mueller, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty. Jocelyn Hubbs, newly appointed Vice President for Student Development. And Dr. Corinne Gilbert, Director of Development. I'd also like to recognize some of our head coaches that are here today, along with a couple of their teams. Our head men's basketball coach, Eddie Alexander, and our men's basketball team. Oh, over there. All these navy polos, you guys kind of look alike. Our head men's soccer coach, Joao Pedro Ellers, and our men's soccer team. Our head softball coach, Jim Patrick, he and the softball team wanted to be here today. They are actually coming back from Helena, Montana right now with games versus Carroll the past couple days. But Tiffiny, they wanted to be here to meet you and support you. Let's see, our head cross country and director of track and field, Tom Bolden, is here. And then our head women's basketball coach, Coach Metters, back of the house there. And then I also, just a very special thank you and introduction of my staff, our team. Our Associate Athletic Director, Sarah Freeman. Our Assistant Athletic Director for Communications, Nick Askew. Our Kelsey Segrin, she is our Assistant Sports Information Director. I know they're here somewhere, I don't see them. And then Wendy Alexander, our athletics office manager, she's in the back of the room. This room looks this way and feels this way because of her. So big hand to Wendy. So I just thank them especially for corralling all this information, their continued hard work and planning and organizing for this year's Hall of Fame induction. So thank you very much. At this time, we will begin our first induction for Tiffiny Busse Harwell. Tiffiny Harwell was a member of the inaugural season of Crusaders softball in 1999, and by the end of her career, she had left quite a mark, highlighted by a USCAA All-American honor in 2001 and 2 USCAA Academic All-American Awards in 2002 and 2003. She was named a 2-time Most Valuable Player and 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner and helped guide NCC to a runner-up finish at the 2002 USCAA National Championships. In her very first season, Harwell hit .373 and finished her career with a .365 batting average that ranks third all-time and is the highest ever among 4-year players 20 years later. She holds both the single season and career records for triples, marks that have stood also for 20 years. She ranks in the top 10 in the Bushnell career record book in 7 statistical categories. Harwell becomes the 6th individual woman to be inducted into the Bushnell Athletics Hall of Fame. At this time, I would like to invite up her son, Fade Harwell, to induct his mother into the Bushnell Athletics Hall of Fame.
Hello, my name is Fade. We are here tonight to honor my mom, Tiffiny. I want to share some of her achievements with you. My mom is not only the owner of Confetti Crown Salon, she is also the president of Salon Services. My mom cares about everyone she meets, no matter who they are. She's also very pro-animal rights and earth-friendly. She supports us not only with money, but also personally and emotionally. She supports us not only with money. Thank you for honoring my mom, Tiffiny Harwell.
Okay, do you want to stand up here? And we'll get your mom's plaque. And we'll present, yeah, stay up here, we can get a picture. At this time, I would like to bring forward Tiffiny Harwell.
Look good with my dress. I don't think so. Okay. We'll just go like this. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to hope that my phone doesn't die because I didn't prepare so well and left the speech on my phone, so wish me luck. Thank you so much to Fade for being here and introducing me. I want to open by apologizing that I really dislike speaking in front of people, so I'm sorry. I'm going to do my best. But secondly, I don't have a ton about softball to talk about, so sorry as well. I'll start my time with you today, and I want to share my favorite thing about my son, Fade. Something I envy about him that I've never been quite able to master myself is how true to himself and his person he is. I don't know if you guys could all see that in him, but he really doesn't waver for anybody. He is overwhelmingly comfortable with himself, and he's so amazing and beautiful because of that. So thank you, Fade, for being you. I didn't get to hear what he was going to say about me, so that was sweet as well. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge my younger son, Barron. Barron, you want to say hi? Awesome. So he is honestly the most determined person I've ever met in my life. And he never gives up. It doesn't matter what it is. He's super talented in anything he wants to do because of this. And with 100% certainty, whatever this kid wants to do, Bear is going to dominate. So, Bear, thank you for being you and being so determined. I want to thank my team in life right now. I want to thank my mom, my husband, my sisters, my Max. My Frank as well is here for being here. My mother-in-law and my Morgan. Thank you all for coming tonight. Feels really good to see you all here supporting me. And it's those feelings that will live with me forever of having that support of all of you guys here with me. So thank you for making me feel a little bit like Beyonce tonight, even though my dress didn't work out and I had to wear this instead. So thank you. So why am I here? How am I here? I've asked myself this quite a few times when trying to think about what to say tonight. And I would say the thing that got me here most likely is that I have this abnormal fear of being average. So it's what's driven me throughout life. It's what drove me while I was playing. I don't basic anything in life. I just don't do average. I didn't average. I still don't do average on anything that I do. When I warmed up, I was a little extra. When I practiced, I was a little extra. When I played, I was a little extra at the gym. I mean, you get it. I was extra. I always wanted extra from my teammates as well. I'm sure some of them were a little annoyed with this behavior, but I really did want the best for everybody. I just can't do average, and I don't want anybody else around me to be average. I want everybody to excel at being them. I am relentless when I set my sights at being good at something. I firmly believe that's what made me who I am today and why I get the chance to talk to all of you today. I'm now a local business owner. Personal plug, I own Confetti Crown Salon on Willamette. If any of you all want to feel pampered, come see us. I promise you won't regret it. I don't basic for my business. I don't basic for my friends and my family. I don't basic for my job, my colleagues, or my employees. And I certainly don't basic for myself. I want everybody to be the best that they can, and I'm not talking about what they're wearing or driving or making an income or what they look like. What I'm talking about is showing up to be the best version of yourself. I'm talking about being proud of who you are. I'm talking about being overwhelmingly comfortable with who you are. And I want to recognize a few people who I did play with who made me feel this way. That's, after all, why I'm here. They encouraged me to be who I was, and they allowed me to be who I was. And these are the moments that I remember about playing softball, are these people and the way that they made me feel. I mean, I do remember certain plays, but it's not so much the play itself as much as how I remember the moments and the people that were there with me. It's the relationships that I remember the most. You see, how we treat each other and how we accept one another is really important. Not only for our teams, but later on in life, it's very important. How we show up for each other, like my family and friends have shown up for me today, and how we celebrate each other for being them is really important. The energy that we bring to our team and the energy that we take away from our team is really important. What I remember about softball are post-game chats with my coaches. Coach Linda always let me rationalize the game and knew exactly how much or how little to give to me because she knew I was very emotional. And that's also because I really didn't after game basic either. I did everything a little extra. I remember Coach Tim, who was the one who gave me the opportunity to come play here. I thought I was going to be playing basketball, actually, in college. That blew up in my face, and I didn't grab an opportunity that was given to me. So after taking a year off, to this day, I still remember how I felt when Tim called and offered me that opportunity to come play here. To have someone interested in your talents and your skills and in you is amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and I didn't want to pass up that opportunity again. I remember Jocelyn. The thing I remember about Jocelyn is not a play that she made or how good she was or how good she wasn't. It was simply because literally she was the first woman who ever made me feel beautiful, and truly beautiful in just who you are. And I really believe that she saw my beauty. So I don't remember anything about how many RBIs she had or anything. It's just how she made me feel. I loved being around her. I remember my other coach, Ray. He let me be a student of the game. I loved to study. So he gave me a lot of trust. I remember Mel and Deanna. We had just way too much fun. And again, I don't remember how they played, well or not well. I just remember them supporting me. I remember my team 1.0, Holly. I remember Andrea. Andrea went pretty hard too. She kind of challenged me a few times. Had to step up my game. So of course I did. Casey, I believe Casey's daughter plays here now, if I'm not mistaken. I think she might be the first alumni to play on the softball team as well. And I never had players that really stopped me from trying to be me, and they encouraged me to be me, which I really, really loved. There was one person, though, that I really want to take the time today to acknowledge, and she's the one who made me feel the most understood, the most okay with being me, and her name was Amy. We actually called her Mama. We loved Janis Joplin and Limp Bizkit. I don't know how, but we did. I don't know what it would have been like here without her. And I apologize that I'm crying. I didn't think I would, but okay. But no matter how much I hate public speaking, when I'm given a platform like this, I can't be basic, and I can't not seize that opportunity. And again, I would hate to be average. So I want to speak about something a little bigger than softball, a little bigger than sports, a little bigger than college, and that is the mental health, specifically with our children. Amy gave me permission to share her story today. Amy doesn't have a lot of strength to share her story. You see, the person who made me feel so amazing needs a voice today, and so I'm going to stop crying and I'm going to give her that voice today. The worst did happen for Amy. Several years ago, her sweetest firstborn son, Jace, died by suicide as a young teen. I'm not bringing this up at all to dampen the mood, even though I'm crying, so again, I apologize. Instead, I really want to use my platform again to celebrate. I want to celebrate each of you that are here today. I want to celebrate my family and my friends that are here today. Because the gift that this collective room has is amazing. And I'm here to want to empower each of you to know that you all matter. Every one of you matter. I'm here to make sure that you understand how important each of you are and the obligation that you have to our children to make sure that they know that they matter as well. Tonight, you're a part of our collective team, and I'm here to encourage you to be that outlet for somebody when they might need it, or to ask for support or an outlet when you might need it. Ultimately, I want each of you to think about how you impact people and how you make them feel. I want each of you to think about how you leave them when they leave your presence. I'm here to say that we need to save our kids, and that each of us has a responsibility in that. Every one of us has a responsibility in that this day. We need to create healthy relationships. Nothing is more important than creating healthy relationships. I'm here to say talk about it, to normalize talking about it, talk about our mental health, and allow our kids to talk about their mental health. I'm here to say in front of all of you, with all the accolades that I've had, to share that I've suffered depression, and to this day, I suffer from anxiety. Do not be ashamed, and do not think that anybody in your life is immune from this situation either. Nobody is. The stigma about speaking up about your mental health needs to stop, because you'll teach it to your kids to speak up about their mental health. We need to be able to teach our kids this. We need to be able to allow our kids to speak up, and we need to be able to be vulnerable for our kids. We all have the ability to make one another feel special and to simply listen to one another. And I firmly believe that we actually all have an obligation to this. So when in doubt, please be kind. Learn how to see the strengths in everybody else and tell them the strengths that you see in them. Tell them what makes them special. Make them remember 20 years later how you made them feel, because that's what I remember today, is how people made me feel. Give them moments to feel heard and to be seen. Create moments, create relationships, create trust, and create opportunities. Ask your people how they're really doing, and then really listen. And when your people ask you how you're really doing, truthfully, really answer. Tell them how you're doing. Because you see, how we leave someone feeling really matters. How we treat people matters, and it lasts. It lasts a long time. How we authentically show up for not only ourselves, but we show up for other people really matters. How we advocate for ourselves matter, and how we teach our children to advocate for themselves really matters. The thing that someone remembers is you and how you left them feeling. Practice being vulnerable, truthful, and real. Just like today for me, what I remember is not all the triples, not all the awards. I mean, it's all cool. I do enjoy it, but as my son said today, he didn't even know I played softball. So it really isn't that important in the big scheme of life. It's the people that were with me that made it a difference for me. It's the safety that these people gave me to be myself and to come here tonight and feel comfortable enough to be myself that matters. So again, thank you to my team for all showing up for me tonight. I'm eternally grateful for feeling supported, confident, and loved. My dad, who can't be here tonight, my mom, she never missed a game. I mean, maybe a couple, but rarely. My sisters, my husband, Travis, my Max, my Frank, my kids, my in-laws. And thank you to Amy for allowing me to share her story tonight as well, and allowing all of you and Bushnell the opportunity to use a platform, because he didn't give me any rules and I had to go a little extra, to remind everybody that we all have an obligation to one another. We owe it to our kids to open up and be honest and to be kind. And remember that every one of us in this room, in this collective team here tonight, is important and valuable, and every one of us needs to make this team work. So thank you very much for listening to my rant.
Greg Erickson was a pioneering athlete at Northwest Christian College, playing on the first Beacons men's soccer teams from 2006 through 2009. Erickson was a USCAA first-team All-American in 2006 and was a three-time All-Cascade Collegiate Conference selection, earning first-team All-CCC as a senior in 2009. The most prolific goal scorer in school history, Erickson is the Beacon's all-time leader for goals, points, shot attempts, and shots on goal. He holds 4 of the top 5 single-season scoring efforts. He scored 7 goals in each of his final 3 seasons and held the single-season record for 14 years. Erickson, who scored the first hat trick in NCU history back in 2006, was a 3-time team MVP and won the Coach's Award as a senior. He becomes the first men's soccer inductee into the Bushnell Athletics Hall of Fame. At this time, we have a video to play for you from his head coach, Chris Bolton, who couldn't be with us today. He's in Sedona, Arizona.
Hey Greg, congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction. Really proud of you. You know, thanks for being such a big part of our men's inaugural soccer team. 4 years of great dedication to the program, the goals you delivered. I think at one point you led our team in about 7 statistical categories. And it was just a pleasure to coach you, both in college but also in club. We go back a long ways, and so I'm just really happy for you, very proud of you, and I wish you just a great evening. Have a good night. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to bring forward the inductor for Greg, Johnny Matthews.
Hello there. First off, I'd like to say that it's an extreme honor to be here today with these special athletes and having the privilege of introducing Mr. Greg Erickson. Speaking of the athletes, I noticed that I did go to high school with a couple of the boys basketball team, Paul Wright, Ryan Brummett. Go Highlanders! So I first met Greg in the spring of April 2015. I was a 6th grade teacher at Lundy Elementary School in Lowell, Oregon. He was teaching a class for my current 6th graders as part of his interview process for becoming our next 6th grade teacher. I wasn't sure if I liked him or not, but I knew that I wanted another guy in the building. He eventually got the job, but I wasn't sure how it was going to work out. He asked a lot of questions, and he often looked like a deer in headlights. But after a year or so, I realized that's just how Greg looked. I said pause, wait for laughs. Sweet, thank you, that worked out, thanks. I was very protective of the 6th grade class because I didn't think someone could do it better than me. Boy, I was wrong. Fast forward a couple years, and I can honestly say that his ability to build relationships with kids and staff and his constant evolving of his teaching strategies put me to shame in a heartbeat. Roughly 5 months ago, Greg called me up and told me that he was going to be inducted into the College Hall of Fame. I thought about it for a minute, and then I asked him, for what? And he told me soccer. And I said, you played soccer in college? And he said yes. So I assumed it was the whole team getting inducted, but then he just told him it was just him. And I thought to myself, I've seen him drop kick a soccer ball in recess before, and remember thinking it was pretty good, but Hall of Fame worthy, I'm not sure. So, of course, I accepted because I could not have been more prouder of my friend and his accomplishments. But being the skeptical person that I am, I had to look it up for myself. And there it was, all of his stats from his college career. I won't go in great depth about that, as Corey already did, because I want Greg's head to be able to fit out the door on the way out. So to put it bluntly, it was very impressive. And I say all that to say this. Greg has never ceases to amaze me. His ability to adapt to his surroundings as well as learn and execute new things has always led me to have great respect for him. Whether it's on the soccer field, golf course, his weirdly insane knowledge of the United States and world history, or even remodeling a house with that how hard can it be attitude has blown me away on how well-rounded and skillful of a person he is. His ability to set and achieve goals is nothing short of inspirational. I'm extremely proud of this person he is and the man that he has become. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you that someone I call a leader, a winner, role model, a Hall of Fame inductee, but most importantly, a great person and a phenomenal friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Erickson.
The basketball players are not the only ones that, there we go. First off, Johnny couldn't have put some heart into that. Caleb Burke, He's not even present today? We'll move him to defense. Who's the coach? Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's done enough. When Nick and Corey called me, it was, I think, last October, I want to say, November, something like that. And they said, well, you know, you still hold a bunch of the records. And I said, well, which one was broken? And he said, your single season record. And I was like, well, that's too bad, because that was, you know, I think that's the reason why they then called me. I imagine they made the decision after he broke the record, because first thing that Corey said was like, yeah, we thought we'd put you in before all of them go. So I appreciate that very much. Second, let's see here. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to the script then, because I had something else I was going to say. Johnny here, Corey and, sorry, I'm going to go back to Corey and Nick. When they gave me a bunch of feedback and told me exactly how, you know, what is expected of tonight and how, you know, the speech is supposed to go, who to thank and all that stuff, and like all this stuff. And I didn't ignore them, but I kind of went my own direction with it. I was talking to Johnny on Thursday, and he asked me, I was in my classroom, I had one of my students in the classroom, and he asked me if I wrote my speech, and I said, well, no, I'm not going to write a speech, I'm just going to go up there and wing it, which I'm actually currently doing. So he said, I said, well, no, I'm not going to write a speech, I'm just going to get up there and wing it. And Johnny knows me very well, where it's like, is your speech going to be like 45 minutes to an hour long? Because sometimes I ramble or just talk until someone shuts me up. I then said, well, hey, I have one of my students in the classroom named Merrick. I go, hey, Merrick, do you want to write my speech? And he goes, no, I don't. And I was like, all right, yeah, Johnny, I'm going to have my students write my speech for me. And got off the phone, and Merrick was like, you're not writing, or you're lying, right? And I was like, no, I'm not lying. He was like, yeah, you are. So calling his bluff, he walked in the next day and looked at the board and saw the agenda and goes, it was one of these things where he looked up and goes, you're seriously going to have us write your speech for you? And I was like, yeah. And basically, I didn't even give a whole lot of instruction for this. So like my students, I was just like, okay, here's some basic guidelines. I teach 6th grade, by the way. Sorry if you don't. 6th grade math science, so they were wondering why there was a writing assignment that day. I quickly got online, and after it was a pretty grueling 5 seconds of research on Googled how to write a Hall of Fame speech, copied and pasted that to Google Classroom under the assignment, and said, go ahead, you guys surprised me with the results. And honestly, I'd say about 75% of them didn't even know what a Hall of Fame was. So some of their responses, that what they wanted me to say, was they were pretty good. There were 4 things, though, that were listed off. Start off by acknowledging those who are important to you in life. That was the first one. Name those who had an effect on your career, your esteem for the people honoring you. Share an interesting and or funny anecdote or story, and then end on a high note. So, number 1, start off by acknowledging those who are important to you in life. One of my students, Dominic, I don't even know if this is a typo or if it's like something that, I'm 38 now, and some of the stuff that is happening at like the middle schools, it's a different language from time to time. And I don't know if this was a mistake, but I'm going verbatim. He said, he wanted me to say, this is my speech that he wrote for me. Hi, my name is Erickson Boy, and I would like to thank everyone for inviting me to the Hall of Fame of this school. So, and then Esri thought I should say, I would like to thank my parents, Linda and Richard, for helping me through my soccer profession, and my brothers, Matt and Ross. Esri, I don't think knew, actually, no, Esri knows my mom. My mom subs for me. But they did their research, I'll put it that way. The next person said, oh, sorry, this is where I was supposed to pause. Mom, Dad, thank you. Matt, thank you for driving from, where's Matt? There you are. Thank you for driving from Seattle. And Ross, hi. There they are. So I appreciate you being here. It's great that I got like the entire family here. Talina is another student, and I don't think she did any research. She said, I would like to thank, I would like to thank, and I quote, thank Janet Jackson for being my favorite teacher and Danny DeVito for being my soccer coach. I was surprised a sixth grader even knows who they are, because they haven't been, well, Danny DeVito's a little bit more relevant. He's in commercials now, but, and they spelled the names right too. It was awesome. Courtney, to my wife, they didn't mention you in any of them, so sorry. If they were to, I would say, I love you very much. I met Courtney through soccer here at NCU. CJ, or Kyler Ziegler, was the goalie. Her, not roommate at the time, but his sister, she knew. They cheered together, and we met at a party, and that was 2008. So, thank you. If they had mentioned you, that's what I would have said. Okay. Number 2, name those who had an effect on your career, path, life, your esteem for people honoring you. One of my students, Daniel, said, I'm a teacher at Briggs and am flattered to have been selected for the Hall of Fame. The people that inspire me the most are my students, but mainly Daniel, my favorite student. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'd say about 50% of them are my favorite student, apparently, in my speeches. His just happened to have the capitalized everything. Punctuation was good. I picked his for that reason. So I'm a teacher. I have to go with those that follow the rules of writing. Maddie wrote, I'm thankful for Bushnell University and the athletic department, my teachers, professors, my friends, and family. So Maddie got the assignment pretty well. It was actually pretty nice to see that someone actually was like, this is how a speech is written. So like my friends are here, a bunch of them are here. I was really excited that they wanted to come here, because when I told them, they said, let us know when, and we'll be there. And I was like, you guys want to go? This is like a graduation almost. You're going to hear me speak, and then you're going to hear a bunch of other people that you don't know speak. So I appreciate all of you for coming here. And then Will and Evie, yes, you too as well. Yeah, got to give you a shout out. Jim and Mary Jo, my aunt and uncle, who lived about a half mile from me for a majority of my life, actually still live about a half mile from me. And they've always treated me like one of their own, and I really appreciate that part of what they did and currently do. Jim, I just got word that Sam is going to help doing some of the plumbing in the Airbnb, or the potential Airbnb. My golf simulator. Apparently my wife is not going to let me do that, and it's going to be converted. You're going to have to volunteer some more of your time to help construct the area. Appreciate that. Leaf and Kaiser. Leaf is not here. He lives in Philadelphia. His wife Eliza and Gideon and Maiken. I didn't write them down, and I swear I thought I was going to mess up their names, but yes? Okay, good. Okay, Christine, thank you for flying out here. And I really appreciate, and I know that Leaf, Kaisa, Matt, and Ross, we really appreciate how much, even though you live on the East Coast, you make about as much of an effort as you possibly can to be involved in our lives. And so, and I wasn't sure if it was for Jim's birthday, which was Friday, or here, but I'm just gonna say you came for this for sure. It was coincidence, right? So thank you for flying out from North Carolina. And I am lucky enough to have my grandma Ellen here. There you are. My grandma Ellen is in her late 30s. No, 96, sorry. Misread that one. And she's been, she would give us lifesavers. That was like my first memory. It's kind of like if a dog knows that you gave them a treat, they're going to come to you, mouth salivating, and expect a treat. And she always had lifesavers in her purse. And so I'm just really happy that she is, well, she's here. I appreciate that. So thank you, Grandma. To my former teammates and coaches at NCU, specifically Chris Bolton, who was on the video, I almost responded to him, and I was like, well, no, that's a video. He can't hear me. And then, yeah, I had him when I was playing club soccer at 16, and I appreciated the opportunity that he gave me to come here to NCU, because it really, really did change a lot of things for me. It gave me goals. And so I appreciate that. My assistant coach, Dennis, as well. He was an offensive genius, and I really liked the fact that he coached me up on how to, well, get better at scoring goals. That's basically the way he put it. I don't, but he was very, very smart as an offensive coach. To Mac Wilson, my high school soccer coach, he drove my competitive, like he showed me, I was hearing Jimmy. Just like, yeah, you know. And he pushed me like really, really hard. I felt like he hated me, but it actually ended up being a really, really good thing because I learned how to be competitive. I worked really, really hard in the off season, and he really fueled that, and so I really appreciate him. Barbara Stater, my 4th and 5th grade teacher, who I also had the opportunity to work with as she was my cooperating teacher. And she was my 4th and 5th grade teacher, and so when I was going into student teaching, I was like, I want to work with her because I remember it was like the last teacher that I really felt like that actually valued like every single student, including myself, and I wanted to figure out how she did that, because that was the teacher I wanted to be. And I mean, she taught for like 37 years. She could have retired well before she did. And I know it's because she loves her students, and yeah, she's still making an impact on kids today because she showed me what it was like as a student and I pass that forward to my students, and so it's always good to hear. She's not here, but I mean, it's always, I'll text her later and say that I mentioned her. But it will eventually, I'll tell her, but I think she knows. All right, number 3, share an interesting and or funny anecdote. Boston thought I should tell a quick joke. Why was the soccer player upset on their birthday? Anyone on the soccer team want to take a guess? Are you falling asleep? Because he got a red card. Birthday card, red card. Did I deliver it right? You guys think that's hilarious. And I also thought it was weird because I'm pretty sure we went through some of the records that I hold. Where's Nick at? You don't have the disciplinary stats up on the website. do I still hold the red cards record? I got 2 in 1 year. Don't do that. You get suspended for 2 games instead of just 1. So, Eddie stated, let's see here, no. Yeah, I didn't like that one. Okay, so Eddie did give me something to kind of close with. No, Kim did. Kim said, and this is good that my students do listen to some of my stories. Sometimes I'm not sure if they are when I tell stories. But Kim said, I used to eat, this is me, not her, me. I used to eat 3 Big Macs every day for 5 years, but now I'm a bodybuilder. That is true. And I was glad that she looked that up to make sure it was accurate. If it doesn't look like that's accurate, I'm in the off season right now, and I'm not training yet. So, all right, last one, and end on a high note. This one I save for myself. So this is not from my students. Having the students do like something fun like that for me, to have them be a part of this is what is like truly important for me. And that's what soccer and Bushnell did. Soccer was the catalyst, but Bushnell sent me on the right path to what I am truly proud of today, which is my students. I'm on year 8 now, and so I've got a lot of students that I've had, and got fond memories of like all of them. But it's not just oh, he was my teacher or they were my student. I don't even know how to really explain it besides they're affecting a lot of what I do and my passion as an educator. I love my job every single day. I love my job. Even the bad days are good because you can always learn from the bad days at work. And I've got, let's see, my first class, they graduated last year. And I still have amazing memories with every single one of them. They weren't just students to me, and I don't think they saw me as a teacher. And that's what I'm truly proud of. I'm really happy with how, yes, I do like the fact that I'm good at soccer, or was. I haven't played in a while. I don't know if I'm still good. But I do say that soccer was the reason why I worked to come to NCC, NCU, Bushnell. By the way, Corey, are we good on the name? We're stuck? I can only imagine what you guys pay in branding and like logos. So the reason why I came here was because I wanted to play soccer, and I came away with something that was way better, which is essentially my dream job. I want to work in education, and I love it. So I appreciate everyone here at Bushnell. Johnny, are you timing me? How long has it been? Okay. I've read like 4 things off of this. And yeah, I do appreciate that, and I enjoyed my time here, and I am extremely grateful for the honor. And thank you for listening to me. Appreciate it.
Tiffiny, with your speech, I didn't know what to expect because I don't know you. None of us were here athletically when you were here. Now, Greg, we all know you at least really well back then, and you far exceeded, I think, your total words while at Bushnell during this speech. So that was very impressive. We had an over-under on the time, and you blew it away. In 1998, the Crusaders men's basketball team completed a 24-8 season in epic fashion, winning the 7th national championship in program history as they claimed the NCAA championship. Leading the way for the squad was Hall of Famer Mitch Naylor, who averaged over 17 points and 6 rebounds per game and earned NCAA first-team All-American honors. Bertie Smith, coming right after him with 16.3 points per game, and Bill Wagner, 11.8 points per game, garnered All-American honorable mention honors. The 1997-98 team set a school record with 318 steals, a mark which has stood for 24 years. The squad also averaged 91.4 points per game on the season, the second highest total in school history. The 5th-seeded Crusaders went 4-0 at the national tournament, opening against Florida College. The team claimed a 70-64 victory to advance to the quarterfinals. They cruised in the quarterfinals behind 25 points from Bertie Smith and took down top-seeded California Christian out of Fresno in the semifinals, 77-75, behind a pair of game-winning free throws from Justin Corey in the final 5 seconds. Just brought back some good memories. A storybook comeback fueled the championship game victory over Philander Smith out of Little Rock, Arkansas, trailing by as many as 17 points in the first half. The Crusaders stormed back to tie the game at 62-62 come the end of regulation. Trailing by 3 points in the final minute of the overtime, Paul Wright and Mitch Naylor hit back-to-back jumpers to claim the championship. After the 1998 season, head coach Dave Lipp and assistant coach Nick Sage went on to be selected to coach the NCAA All-American team on a goodwill trip to Japan that summer. The team included Mitch Naylor and Bill Wagner, who played with other All-Stars from around the country against Japanese semi-professional teams. The NCAA team was able to pull off a stunning 85-57 victory over a team sponsored by Toshiba that included several talented American professionals that were on their roster. That is the 1997-98 team. I'm going to continue on to talk about the 1998-99 team, and then we will proceed to bring up Coach Lipp and Coach Sage before we get into the individual players. The 1999 Crusaders gave Northwest Christian College their second consecutive NSCAA national championship and the 8th in school history with a 24-12 record. It would be the final national title won by the school during the pre-NAIA era. Now a senior, Mitch Naylor ended his Hall of Fame career with a bang, earning his second straight first-team All-American nod after averaging over 18 points per game. Mike Kosmicki averaged 17.3 points per game and was named an All-American honorable mention. After opening with a 101-82 victory over Philander Smith in the round of 16, the Crusaders defeated tournament host Kansas Wesleyan University in the quarterfinals, 71-69. Mitch Naylor scored 16 points in the game and hit the winning basket with 20 seconds remaining. The Crusaders then faced Rochester, New York in the semifinals and trailed by 7 points with just 93 seconds remaining. NCC orchestrated a comeback to tie the game with 4 seconds remaining. After a botched inbound pass by Rochester, Mitch Naylor once again hit the game-winning shot, this time at the buzzer, for a 75-73 victory. The championship game provided less drama as the Beacons rolled past Florida College 81-58 behind 32 points from Mike Kosmicki. At this time, I would like to bring forward head coach Dave Lipp along with assistant coach Nick Sage to induct the 1997-98 and 1998-99 and Bushnell NCC-NCU men's basketball teams.
It's live.
It's on. It's hot.
I can't see anybody. Is that what happened with you, Tiff? Oh, okay. Well, I'm Coach Lip, and just hearing Corey talk about the two teams just made my heart swell and brought back a lot of great memories. You know, my greatest thing I did as a coach is I just sat in the front row and got paid for it. It was a great job. I had great assistant coaches, and I had great players, and I know that they deserved all the credit, and they did that. I'd like to talk a little bit about the assistant coaches that we had, because we had some great ones. Last Saturday, we had a funeral for Charlie Roberts, and Charlie is one of the best basketball minds I've ever been around, and he was just a great teacher. And I talked to his wife at the funeral last Saturday, and I told her, I said, Charlie made me a better man, a better father, a better coach, and just a lover of people. And that's what he gave me. And what a wonderful, wonderful man. And Greg Gittens right now, he's down in Guatemala trying to learn the Spanish language. I'm not sure why, but he's told me to say hello to everybody. But this guy over here to my left, Nick Sage, he was with me the longest of any coach I had. And Nick Sage, I put him in charge of the defense, and he made sure that we were able to score one more point than everybody else to win a lot of games. And Nick has been my good buddy for all these years. And even though he's moved to California, he comes up once a month and comes and sees me, and we go out to lunch, and we just have a good time. And so thank you to my great assistant coaches who were really the brains of the outfit. As I said, all I did was sit there and watch. It's hard for me to remember about each one of the teams. What I would say is that both of these teams were overachievers. And when I say that to say that doesn't mean that we didn't have some really, really good players on the team. You know, we've mentioned Mitch Naylor's name, and Bill Wagner, and Bertie Smith, and Mike Kosmicki. Those guys were really, really good players. But they learned to play within a system. We didn't have any type of star on anyone's uniforms. They gave up a lot to make everyone else better. And that's just the type of teams we were. We worked really hard every day at practice. And I always thought our games were easier than our practices because we got after it. We had a bunch of people that were just fun to coach. I've seen a couple of them today, but I haven't seen them all. Keegan Smith was one of the first people to come see me. And Keegan was a wrestler in high school. And he came here and wanted to play basketball. And he worked and worked and worked and worked. And he got better and better and better. And he made us better. You know, we had a guy named Aaron Poppendick. And Aaron was a guy that did all the little things that made everyone else better. He was a guy who was just disruptive on defense. He had the ability to see things that were going to happen before they happened, and he disrupted things, and he was such a great player. And I can't even remember to talk about everybody, so I apologize for that. But all I can say is just hearing Corey talk about some of those games we won back at the national tournament. How exciting was that? That was just absolutely beautiful. And I'd like to say one thing about one guy that doesn't get mentioned very often, and that's Paul Wright. I always felt like the thing that should have happened is that Paul should have also been an All-American, because he was our floor leader. He was our point guard. He was the captain on the floor. And he just made us better. He wasn't a leading scorer, but he always did the things that we had to do to win. And I remember Paul making a mistake at one end of the floor, and I'd stand up and I'd be yelling at him, and he'd just turn around and give me that big smile, and I just had to shut up. But him and his buddy, Ryan Brummett, they were both from North Eugene, and they were best buddies, and they just gave us a 1-2 punch at guards. And we were so good with them there. I'd also like to say something about Bill Wagner. Bill Wagner was our post, and he just came every day to practice, to work, and to get better. And it was a privilege just to coach him and to coach all these guys that I've mentioned, even the ones I haven't mentioned, because I can't even see you out there. I don't know if you're here. But thank you for the privilege of being able to coach here. I'm so thankful that President Womack gave me the opportunity to have this job. It was just wonderful. I think Coach Sage wants to say a couple of things. Right, Coach?
Nick Sage, class of 74, North Eugene High School, so fellow Highlander, with Paul and Ryan. I only want to just say a couple quick things. It was an honor to be part of the program here and coach under Coach Lip, and to be a part of the lives of the players. I was more blessed and learned more from them than they ever did from me. Changed my life just being around them. Is it Eric, the soccer player that was inducted? You guys got red cards. We got technicals. I don't remember getting any, Coach. Did you get any? I don't remember getting any.
I'm glad your memory's gone.
Yeah. But anyway, I was reading the Beacon before I came today, and this one quote stood out. It's a John Wooden quote. It says, "A good coach can change a game. A great coach can change a life." And that speaks volumes about Bushnell University and the coaches that have been here, that have touched all the lives of all the players as they coach them. And that's the honor of being a coach and being a part of touching lives. And this team and this head coach, you know, they played together probably better than anybody I've ever been around, any team I've watched. We'd go to these tournaments, we'd go to these games, and the other team would look at us and figure the game's over. Look at that team. And we'd go out there and we would run a basic offense. Guess what we called it? Basic. We were so disciplined that the other coaches would come to us in the meetings before and after games and say, "Nobody wants to play you. You guys are so disciplined. You play so well together. You get so much out of your players." And that's a testament to the team and to Coach Lip. And I was just blessed to be a part of the program and be along for the ride. It was just a great honor to be there. So, Coach, thanks for letting me talk.
Just keep that mic. You guys will hand it off to the guys, so you guys stay right there.
At this time, we're going to bring forward members of the 1997, 98, 98, 99 men's basketball teams. And I believe we want to come up the stairwell that Sarah Freeman's coming up right now, so to your left. And then as you get your plaque, go ahead. We're going to come together down here on the floor right in front of the stage. And yeah, so we're going to start off with Coach Dave Lipp. I'm going to hand this to you, Dave. Next stage. Oh, here we go, Coach. We got 2 of these for you. Let's see. Is Jeannie Roberts? Is she here? Okay. As Coach mentioned, Charlie Roberts. He just recently passed away, and so we have plaques for Charlie through his wife Jeannie. So we'll get those to her. And then Greg Gitten's also not here. Let's see here. 1998 team manager Dave Gomez. Is he here? 1999 team manager Ryan Stevenson. Okay. 98 and 99 teams, Ryan Brummett. Come on up, Ryan. I know you're here. The 98 team, Dax Bryant. 98 and 99 teams, Brian Cooper. Uh, 1998 team, Justin Corey. 1999 team, Greg Galino. 1998-99 team, Jeremy Green. 1998-99 team, Mark Holmes. 1998-99 team, Mike Kosmicki. 98-99 teams, Mitch Naylor. 98 and 99 team, Aaron Papendick. 1998 team, Bertie Smith. 1998-99 teams, Keegan Smith. 1999 team, Aaron Thompson. 1999 team, James Van Hook. 1998 team, Bill Wagner. And 1998-99 team, Paul Wright. Everybody? Yeah, congrats. Hey, fellas, why don't you guys come down in front here? And we've got a mic. I don't know where it is now. Oh, Coach has got it. So Coach has got it. So I know I've talked to a couple of you guys. Come on, everybody, come on down. Whether you don't, you're not going to be forced to talk, I promise. Okay, but if you do want to say something, like I say, we've got an open mic here for you guys. Once we're done, we're going to get them together and do a group photo. But right now, we just kind of want to have an opportunity for these guys to talk. So I'll get out of the way.
I'm Bill Wagner. Corey asked me to speak for our team. First of all, I'd like to thank Coach for giving an older guy on the team a chance to play. So thank you, Coach. I also want to go back and kind of dedicate this to Coach Roberts, who's not with us. We had his funeral last Saturday. We got to see a lot of the guys there. For me personally, he meant a ton. He was a big man with a big presence and a big piece of, of what I was able to accomplish coming back. I coached 4 years in high school before playing, coming back. So he was a huge part. So I want to dedicate it to Coach Roberts. Another guy I want to talk about, he didn't get his name mentioned. Coach Sage, if you were in charge of defense, you should have mentioned this guy. Justin Corey. Nobody talked about Justin. Justin probably had as big a part of our national championship than anybody. We talked about beating that California Christian, who was the #1 ranked team. He also had the leading score in the nation of all classifications. He had 2 against Justin. So we don't win if it wasn't for Justin Corey. there's a reason why the defensive award here at Bushnell is now named the Justin Corey Defensive Award. So he was phenomenal. He was also my roommate, and man, he talked as much at the house as he did on the court too. Some of the stories that we have from we had a great group. Like, we had some older guys on the team, we had some younger guys, but one thing that we had was we had competitive guys. Every single day, Coach talked about in practice, every day everybody came and competed. Justin was so competitive. I'm going to talk a little bit about Justin more. I remember a story. We got done, I think it was playing Monoma, and we go to dinner after the game, and the place is closing at 9 or something. I think it was 8:55 we walk in, and they're like, nope, we can't serve you. Justin argued as much with the people behind the counter about serving us food as he did as a call on the court. He wrote letters to the restaurant complaining about not serving us, and received multiple free coupons in the mail later on. So that's how competitive we were. Our team, we played in Salina, Kansas for the national championship. I thought we were going to die in Salina, Kansas. The night of our championship game, we pulled in, we parked our cars. There's a little drop of snow. When we came out, we were digging our cars out. So they took us to the country club for a steak dinner to celebrate our win. I'm not sure how we got up the hill. I know how we got down the hill. We just slid. And we had to leave at 4 a.m. to get back to Kansas City, where we were flying out. I consider myself kind of a tough guy. That whole trip, I don't think I opened my eyes. It was pretty hairy, but we were able to get there and be able to come back and celebrate here. We had a lot of great times that year. Again, we had people who were on campus, off campus. Some of us were older, some of us were younger. Ryan Brummett still tells me to this day that I scarred him for life. I won't repeat what I said in the game. Basically, it was, Coach, get that freshman off the floor. There might have been a word in between there. And Brummett, I think you're okay doing. You all right? All right. The other story, I got to tell it, Brummy, sorry. We're in North Bend. We had played a game. And we had a bus. We had a great bus. We had a great driver. I think he broke every speed limit for buses. So they got us there in a quick time. And we get off the bus, and he had a hat on. It said at the time we were NCC, it said NCC basketball. And on the side, there was a word that Ryan got a little confused by. So we go in the restaurant. He's like, hey, guys, I got a question. What's a choffer? And we're like, choffer? What are you talking about? He's like, what's a choffer? And he's like, it's on the side of his hat. He goes, that's chauffeur, man. So NCC had to up their education for Ryan to make sure he helped him get him through for some of that stuff. But again, great group of guys. Fantastic year. And, that Philander Smith team that we beat in the national championship, if you had watched them in the first 2 rounds, I think even us might have had a little bit of a, man, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but we figured out a way. We got down early. We fought back, and we figured out a way to get it done at the end. And, we had some guys step up big. Again, Mitch has been mentioned a lot. I mean, he hit some big shots. Justin had some great stops. Guys hit big shots. Paul hit a huge 3 for us, and the rest is history. So I'm going to pass this on to somebody else who would like to speak.
So I'm a little rusty on this kind of situation. I used to grab microphones and do a lot of talking. But I thought I was going to be late today because Mitch told me it was at 1. So I was breaking the law a little bit and driving fast. And then I got caught in a bad accident. So as I sat there thinking I was going to miss all this situation, I started thinking about all these guys behind me. And what was funny is I haven't seen these fellas in a long time. But as I walked down and kind of glanced at each one of these guys in the eyes, check out, their sizes. A little bit of there's a little bit of a launch pad up here, I'm seeing some changes. But my eyes and my heart see the young fellas that I went to war with every day. And Bremy and Paul told me a story that after I left NCC, Coach Roberts, he gave a halftime speech, and he brought me up as an important piece of that team of all these incredible athletes. I mean, you might not be able to tell, but there's a lot of action in those old bodies. But Coach Roberts apparently said something really nice about me in the locker room like the next year, and Brummett told me about that. So as I was in that traffic jam, all I could think about was Coach Roberts and the impact that quiet legend had on all of us, and it just made me think of being present, whether it's and if you're present when you look at the people that you love the most. Now, Bill, he was a little older than us, but I'll tell you right now, no one's changed less than Bill Wagner. But I love all these guys, and I see a bunch of young fellas here ready to play some hoops. I see Aaron Poppendick giving Mitchell Naylor fits in our practices, the All-American, I see Justin Corey, who was nicknamed the difference between a win and a loss. He was the difference. You got the answer. You got Air Jordan. No, but this is the difference because that guy made the difference. So he could average 5 points and still bring you the victory. So all these guys mean the world to me. I'm kind of a hermit now, so I don't see anybody. And I decided I was going to be here because, you never know when the last time you're going to see your favorite people.
I'm James Van Hook. I had joined the team after they won their first one, came into the second one with these guys. Man, it's nothing like having a family of brothers that'll go to war for you, that if something's going wrong, it's different in our era than what it is now. If something went wrong, we could argue about it. Coach Lip and I didn't see eye to eye before. We argued about it, and it went on. Because I knew that he cared about me, I knew that he loved me, and I knew that my teammates always had my back. Things weren't going well. I didn't think I was getting what I thought. I could talk to Brummett, Paul, been over their house, Cos, Mickey, Mitch, all these guys, Keegan. We all just had a good time. The university was a great school to go to. And I'm just honored and blessed to be here, a part of this right here, and having these guys just all embrace me when I showed up from junior college to the school. And just knowing that, you know what, I got some brothers from another mother. And we just hang out and just do everything together. You don't see one another all the time. I might see you in the Winco, Mitch and Bill. But yeah, this is just it was just a great time here, great life lessons. I try and instill that on my children and my wife and in what I do in life. And I got it from here. And it was all these guys and this coach right here. Even when I messed up, and he knows when I messed up, he was there. So yeah, I'm just appreciative to be here. Thank you.
I just wanted to say a couple things here. Brian Cooper, I wasn't the fastest, right, Coach? I couldn't jump the highest. And, Coach, I say those words because Coach Lip said those to me. Coach, you guys remember that? But that's fine because I kind of fumbled into this school. And without a friend of mine that Coach was recruiting, Butch, remember that? I would have never been here. I showed up for an open gym with my friend, and I was decent enough to ride the bench. And that's what I did. But I gave, every practice, we worked our butts off. You've heard that But I just want to say a couple words about Coach Lip, because he and I, like James mentioned, we didn't see eye to eye. My face, my emotions are all over my face. Not much changes. I'm working on it, guys. But Coach would always, give me that feedback. And I grew a lot when I was at this school, although I wasn't supposed to technically be here with all these guys and accomplishing what we accomplished, just being part of that team. And it just helped me develop who I was. But Coach, I just want to say thank you. You were hard on me, but without you and Coach Roberts and Gittens and Front Page Sage, I don't know where I'd be, quite honestly. And so I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me a shot. And, and in my professional life, I reference you all, just so you know. I reference you all the time when I talk about, a team that people looked at and kind of got laughed at, to be honest. Teams would show up to cheer against us. I mean, we remember that during the tournaments. So I reference this team a lot to show, hey, you might not be the best, you might not be the most talented, but if you give your effort, it's an old cliche, but it's true. You've seen what we've been able to accomplish. So yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me here. Thanks, everybody.
I just want to thank the coaches and my wife Amy. My dad is here. Court and his girlfriend Tanner. Thanks for coming today. You said you got kicked out of a few games in soccer, right? I think I probably hold the record for being kicked out of practices. Coach doesn't remember that though. But really, these guys you see up here, and I know the basketball team and the soccer team and the teams that couldn't come. What they said is really true. And I think there was a quote Coach Roberts used to say, it's amazing what you can do if no one cares who gets the credit. And that's really what this team was all about. We just went out and got things done. And one night it might be somebody scoring a bunch of points, and it might be somebody else, but it really didn't matter because all we really cared about was getting the job done together. So I appreciate all these guys. I think something like 60-plus teams I've coached since being here. And when you have chemistry like we did, it makes a big difference. And Court's team's done, 50-7 the past 2 years in high school, and he's a far better basketball player than I ever was. So appreciate you guys.
Hey everyone, my name is Paul Wright. I want to thank Bushnell University for putting this on. Appreciate you guys doing this. This is amazing. We can give applause to Bushnell. It's all good. Come on. Thank you, Corey and Sarah. Appreciate you, Nick, and President Jim and Joe, obviously, Womack. Thank you, Eddie, for having the team here, too. I think looking at you guys and just, obviously, you look at us, and you're like, I'll never look like that, probably, but give it 20 years, you never know. Or 25, yeah, good point. That extra 5, yeah. Playing ball at NCC at the time, now Bushnell, it really was about the things not only on the court but off the court. It was the pregame speeches we heard. It was the practices, but it was the relationships that happened, and it happened. Living on campus was really, really important in my life, and getting to build these friendships. And these are some of my lifelong friends now. I always felt like I was short whenever I hung out with these guys, and then when I wasn't hanging out with them, I always felt like I was really tall. And then I'd hang out with them, and I'd be reminded, no, I'm actually kind of short. And but these guys, it meant a lot to me in my life, and it is fun to look back and reminisce on, like Justin said, the chemistry we had, especially my freshman year, your senior year, Justin. I got a chance to be a part of one other team that meant almost as much. It was my 5th grade flag football championship team. We won it at Autzen Stadium, which is pretty cool. But winning the national championship here trumps that for sure. And it was an amazing experience. And to win it back-to-back is just absolutely incredible. Would not have been able to do it, obviously, probably we could all say this, without our parents. My mom put up, and my stepdad Doyle, who's here, put up several basketball hoops in my backyard, front yard, and all the coaches, obviously Coach Lip, Coach Gittens, Coach Sage, but even our high school, Coach Roberts, and it was our high school coach, Coach Lockhart, as well. We've had so many good coaches that have invested into us, and look what we did. We produced a national championship. God's good. But, God is definitely good, because looking back, it's no coincidence that we all attended here. And who he put in our lives. And as some of us, even while we were here, got to know who God was, and we became Christians. And that's an eternal impact. And we'll be even better basketball players in heaven. Maybe we'll make some free throws. I don't know. But once again, I just want to say thank you so much, Bushnell University. Thank you, coaches, for your investment into us. And it's just an honor. Thank you.
My name's Greg Galliano, and I was on the 99 team. And I'll never forget the speech that Coach Roberts gave us when there was about $1:31 left on the clock against Rochester College. We were down 7 points. And when you look at the score sheet, we're getting out-hustled, out-rebounded about 2-1. If it was on TV, you'd wonder how this team is even within 7 at this point. But Coach Roberts just gave us the speech of a lifetime, and I'll just remember the team, just something clicked with 1:31 left. The team just played the best 91 seconds of basketball that I've ever seen. And, we've been up here, talking about coaches and everything, and I just wanted to, one of the sad parts about this being 24 years down the road is there's people here there are people that aren't here anymore. Like Coach Roberts, that meant a lot to the program, that meant a lot to us. Ed McIndoe, chaplain of the college, meant a great deal to me. He wasn't part of the basketball program, but I just remember the talks that we had. Didn't have anything to do with basketball. Got me through some pretty hard times. And I'll just remember, Coach Lip talked about the teams being overachievers. I think for the 99 team, we were just a team that clicked at the right time. We had some games where we lost 4 or 5 games in a row within about 3 or 4 points. Very frustrating, but we didn't lose it. We kept it together. We banded together, and we just came together, and everything just kind of clicked when it was supposed to. I just wanted to come up here and give credit to those that were connected to the team. They're not up here to get awards because they weren't technically on the team, but our red shirts that really pushed us to the limits every day. They came, they weren't going to play that year, but they came and practiced hard. They put their blood, practice hard. They put their blood, their sweat, and their tears into everything. And I just wanted to give a shout out to them because they really helped us become a better team, even though they never saw a minute of playing time during the season. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Jared Sand, Nate Crawford, the Larson twins, DJ and Clint, Jesse Springer, Tim Hurd. You guys were also a big part of our success, and I just didn't want that to go unnoticed.
Let's migrate that direction. But stay up there, we'll get the house lights back on in just a second so we can get a bit closer. Go ahead. Yeah, everyone just kind of move over there, and then we'll, yeah. Go ahead.
I get the privilege of doing our closing tonight and saying a few remarks. I have been here, this is my 17th class here at Bushnell, and this is always one of my favorite days of the year where we get to bring our past together with our present as we celebrate the future. So to our inductees and our teams, and to Greg and Tiffany, we thank you for the work that you did, for the foundations that you laid. I get to stand on this stage because of the things that you guys did and for what you meant for Bushnell Athletics. We are in this gym because of past inductees and the work that has gone before us. To our current teams that are in the house, we thank you for being here. I hope that you take from this inspiration
for what is to come 10, 20 years down the road when you get to think about your time here at Bushnell. The main thing I think that we can all take from this is the relationships. And the relationships that are here through the good times and that get us through the lows and the losses, but also that we get to have for a lifetime. So thank you guys for being here tonight. As I close in prayer, after that, we're going to do photos. So we actually want our current teams to take photos. Our men's soccer team, we're going to have you guys up here on the left with Greg. Tiffany, I am so sorry and I am so sad that our softball team could not be here. I wish that all of our student athletes could hear your words. And I'm thinking already that hopefully we'll be able to bring you back in and talk with our student athletes. And then men's basketball will also have you guys up with our basketball teams. We want this to be the end of this evening, but hopefully the beginning of a lot of relationships to come. We want you as alums to be a part of our current programs and to continue to give back. I don't know, for those of you who this is the first time you've been on campus in a really long time, you may not know that we currently have 17 teams and we have over 260 student athletes. The last 3 teams were added were baseball, beach volleyball, and esports. So I'm sure you guys did not think that that would be on the docket in a few years. So we're really excited about what we're doing here on campus. And if you did not get or do not currently receive the Beacon magazines, please make sure that we get your addresses updated at the table in the back. We want to make sure that you guys know what's happening here and that we can share the stories of our current student athletes with you. So then after that, we also tonight have another event, which is why I like today, where we celebrate the past. But then tonight at 7 p.m., we have our Iggies, where we get to celebrate the accomplishments of our student athletes from this year and all the wonderful things that they're doing, which again is in part because of the things that you guys have already done for us. I would be remiss if I did not say, like several people in this room, I also went to high school with Ryan and Paul, so go Highlanders. There's a lot of us out here. So with that, will you please pray with me? Dear Lord, it is with gratitude and joy that we come together today, and we honor you by honoring others. We thank you for the gifts and talents, not just athletically, but who you've made these individuals in your image. We thank you for the examples that they have given to all of us, and we pray that it is inspiring as we move on. We thank you that we could be here. We pray that we will go from here with safe travels. It is in your name that we played and that we pray. Amen.